when we knew love would never die. No. So can we take it on? Oh, yeah. Back to a time when love was in control. Back to are you ready? Are you ready?
Woo! Hey, everybody. Thank y'all for staying tuned to Sizzle Pop Radio right here at Digital Boombox Network. Of course, you already know who is back here cooking up on the ones and twos. Is I, Mr. Sizzle Pop with the grease. I'm back, y'all. I'm back off the waves, man. I miss it, man. I want to go back. Nah, let me stop. You know I missed y'all. I'm back here to Sizzle Pop with the sauce all over your face. You let them know how it tastes. You feel me? We up in here. Oh, yeah. Sizzle Pop with the grease every Thursday night. 7 to 9 p.m. right here on that Digital Boombox Network app. Is the free app. It's in your Google Play Store, it's in your Apple iStore. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. It is free. Start off with that. Yo, it's a free situation, man. You just got to download it, right? And once you download it, it's free, right? You know, you heard me, it's free. Yeah, all right. So make sure y'all tune in, download the app, hit that, that 3 bar up in the corner, tap on the YouTube joint, and then pop right in each and every Thursday night, 7 to 9 p.m. right here on that Digital Boombox Network app and YouTube channel where we play nothing but independent artists' music. And, we support our local area, business situations and, let them come in here and promote. Feel me? But enough about me. It's all about who's in front of the camera. So let's get it sizzling. Let's go.
Welcome to Sizzle Pop Radio, BBN Network. I'm Kesey Ruffin, extra cheese, extra stuffing.
And you already know it's your girl Shells, a.k.a. the motherfucking sauce boss in the building.
And we got Lauren motherfucking G. Make some noise.
Hey, hello. Hey, sis.
Hey.
Lauren, I did a lot of, I want to start off by saying I did a lot of homework on you before you sat down. I want to know, where do you come from? As talented as you are, violinist, I see you performing. We're going to get to that, to churches and fundraisers and
you really did your research.
Community work and all type of shit.
Yeah.
Like, where do you come from? Like,
okay, so I was born in New York and lived in New Jersey till I was 5. Then moved to Farmington. Went to college in Boston. I lived in Atlanta for 5 years.
What degree did you get when you went to college?
Professional music from Berkeley.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's dope.
You just all over the place.
Yeah, and I lived in Atlanta for 5 years. Now I've been back out here for almost 3 years.
It's like, I don't know how many area codes right there.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Who brought the violin to you? Like, who brought that in your life? Who was your first inspiration to even stringing a violin?
My dad.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started playing when I was 3.
Both of your parents is musicians?
Yep.
Wow.
And grandparents.
Wow. And your grandparents?
Yeah. I got the voice from my grandma. So.
Okay, so what age is this?
I always loved singing, but I didn't start taking it seriously till high school, to be honest.
So all right, so you're playing violin
right, and I started writing poetry at 11 years old. So then it just all came together.
Wow. What was your first like this is what I want to do? Like, this is at 11
Singing.
years old? All right, so okay, around 11
Singing.
years old, 12 years old?
Yeah, that maybe even 9. That's when I noticed I could really memorize.
9 years old?
Yeah, I could really memorize any song.
At 9, being the little bright shining star you were, right? At 9, what was your choice song? What was the first?
Back then it was Destiny's Child,
Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
Okay, now.
Destiny's Child, Backstreet Boys were my 2 mains. So
favorite Destiny's Child song? Go.
That's a tough one. Say My Name.
Okay.
Say My Name.
Okay. I can dig it.
Was Beyonce your favorite, or who was the favorite?
I like Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know what's so messed up? Because nobody speaks about LaToya and Latavia. It is what it is. It is what it is. We'll leave them where they are
now. LaToya, look.
She is. She's doing a lot of stuff.
I think Kelly got the best voice out of anyone.
Yes, she does.
So
that's interesting because it's so many different people you could have picked. So many. Why Destiny's Child?
I just love that whole album. Every single
The
song.
Writings on the Wall was the shit.
That whole album, and I love their backgrounds and harmonies, and they were just my favorite group at that time, and I knew all the words.
They was taking over shit.
And Bills. No one came out with songs like that or Bugaboo.
That's why men had to move over at that time, fellas. I'm sorry. Y'all had to move over at that time. Ladies, they was doing something different for the ladies. They was on board.
They
The
were.
ladies was on board. So, when you went to Connecticut, right? What musically did you do when you were in Connecticut? Because I seen too Southington, and I seen a lot of other places that you put your feet, like you stomp, you playing with your feet. All right. So after your first show, I'm sorry to cut you off. After your first show, what brought you into okay? I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna grow. I want to do this. Is what I want to do.
So once I graduated Berkeley, that's when I really had a chance to explore everywhere I could. So I was performing everywhere, like Massachusetts, New York, Connecticut. And I performed pretty much in every town probably in Connecticut, I would say. And I just had a show a couple weeks ago in Hartford.
Getting around these places, like you got to come on.
Okay. I just work my ass off. No, I just use my car. I bring all the stuff in myself.
Where does this motivation come from? What do you like? Who's telling you to do these things?
Me. I'm just a go-getter. My mom, I would say I get the go-getter-ness from, but no one's gonna do it for you. And I just have the mentality I'm not gonna stop until I get to where I want to be. I've always been like that.
I hear that. That's that woman empowerment that we're
exactly.
talking about.
Nah, for real. Women have a drive that men don't have. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad to hear
no matter what we're going through either.
I'm glad to hear you say that.
I could have a fight in the morning.
You women, I'm not even gonna lie, it's even in the city, in Springfield right now, there's women who have businesses and they've been consistent with no matter what happens.
Yep, shout out to you ladies. We see you.
Doing the nails, doing the hair, doing the bars and setting up. I see what y'all doing. It's amazing to me. So what you're saying is right on point. When did you start wanting to do community work as far as the places that you put your stamp your foot in? Because I'm seeing you do community work too, and you did shows. I know you Club Charisma, you an Ideal. I seen.
Oh my God, I forgot about that stuff. So long ago.
Yeah. So when did you have a feel for okay, this is what I'm gonna help other people. As far I'm not gonna just come do my little. I'm not gonna come not little. Excuse me. I'm gonna come showcase my talent, and then I'm also gonna help people when I leave here so they can understand my name.
Well, when I moved to Atlanta, this woman April actually contacted me about doing fundraisers, but she always paid me for those as well.
Okay, shout out to April.
Yeah, definitely. But she might be watching on Facebook. But shout out to April.
April came through with the bag.
Yes, really? Definitely. Put me up in a hotel and all that.
Okay.
So, yeah.
April had the bag.
Okay.
But before I was getting paid consistently for shows, I went everywhere and did everything, especially in Atlanta. I was performing every night or every other night.
Okay.
And I would drive 45 minutes just to do a song or two. So I did a lot of free stuff before.
How did you even navigate to Atlanta? Where how did you okay, that's where I want to go next from Connecticut?
Well, my aunt stays in Kennesaw. My aunt, uncle, and cousins. Mm-hmm. So they're from Georgia. Mm-hmm. So I kind of had that little, fall to fall back on out there. But it just seemed like the best place musically. Mm-hmm. At that time, and this was 2016. Mm-hmm. So
before Lil Baby, all them came out.
Yeah, that was around when everything was turning trap.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go back to something you said really fast. You kind of ran over it, and I feel like that needs to be said a little louder for the people in the back. When you were first being in Atlanta, you said you did a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's speak on that.
Okay,
because I feel like some people just have a sense of entitlement. They have it. They have the it factor, but they don't have it.
No, that's very true.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I just would do any stuff other people wouldn't do. I put in the money and the time, and I was going to Atlanta. Everyone calls it Atlanta, but everyone goes to the outskirts. So a lot of these places are 30, 45 minutes away, and I would just either find them online. I ended up meeting Chase Rose, who used to be signed to Brian Michael Cox, a week after I moved out there.
That's awesome.
So shout out to Chase and Tony, who we were all kind of like a music team, and King. We were all kind of like a music team. So I started doing a lot of shows with them too.
I seen them towns, Conyers, Augusta.
And all
of that. I seen all of that going on. So I'm like, I know you was moving around and doing your thing, and it had it been because of the algorithm. Okay, I'm gonna follow where it's popping at, where it's hot at. I need to get right in there. When you got to Atlanta, was you playing the violin at these shows?
No, not really. I would only really do it once in a while because I don't like to bring my violin to the club where it's all smoky and people are spilling drinks. And, yeah.
Respect the violin. Stop playing with her.
And people do be spilling drinks and stuff like that. So yeah. So no, I didn't really bring my violin into the club, but there were some shows I did for violin out there too.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's dope. Did you experience any like hatred in a way that's like you was like something that you can't forget? Like, you know what, I'm done. I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna quit. I'm not doing this shit no more.
No. That would never happen to me because I don't care what people think.
Okay.
I love it.
But them things happen.
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't really know until afterward because even Chase asked me, he's like, how do you go to all these like black clubs and just not care? And I'm like, I just don't think about it. Oh. But then I would look back at videos like a couple years later. I'm like, look at that hating ass bitch in the background.
Okay. Okay, there's one in every building.
At least.
Nah, for real. That's what
but you always gotta be you. You always gotta do your thing and you gotta overlook the hate.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. I didn't even notice it was going on until I looked at the video afterward. So yeah.
I love that for you.
These things happen, man. And I know just going along, like being from somewhere else, Atlanta, you know, it's a hub. They respect where they, you know, they people, you know what I'm saying? When I did a showcase in Atlanta, I used to be an artist before I was doing podcasts. When I did a showcase, they were talking about, they told me to say my name. As soon as I said my name, I said Springfield, Mass. It was like, who? What? Then the DJ dropped the music. So it wasn't even enough time for me to explain myself, just the music still for itself. So you do have to just go to them places and don't care. Like you said, don't care. I don't care if it's black, white. I don't care what it is. Chinese. Right. I don't care who it is. If Jay-Z in there, I don't care. Okay. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to do my thing.
Right.
So that's amazing. What was your happiest moment?
Of Atlanta?
No. In your path, in your journey. Like you came through some, you know, people was hating on you, you know, probably in the background, white girl, get the fucking in. You feel me? But what was like going like your happiest moment, like on the road, like when you left, you got in the car, you drive it back. Like,
okay, I did that.
Right.
I wouldn't even narrow it down to one, but one of the best was working with Jace from Soul For Real, which main focus. I did do that with him in his studio. Okay. So
every little thing.
Oh yeah, I work with Chalk too. Yep.
Okay, now the resume is ridiculous.
Nah, that was beyond my homework. I ain't even gonna lie to you. I ain't
okay.
My homework on that was amazing.
Yeah.
So your parents are both musicians. You went to Atlanta. While you was in Atlanta, right? You did community work. Connecticut, Atlanta. While you in Atlanta, right? Instinct Radio. You had an interview in Instinct Radio, correct? How did you bump into Instinct Radio? I'm familiar with Instinct Radio too in Atlanta. They did, like I said, that showcase
Small
that
World.
I mentioned. Yep. Yeah. The showcase that I mentioned, Instinct Radio did the promotion. So how did they be moving? So how did you be moving if you ran into them? How did you run into them?
I think I did it at that station at least 2 times. So the first time I went there, I had met this guy Kel and I think it was his sister at an open mic. And then the next time, that was definitely Instinct Radio. I actually don't remember his name, sorry, but I met him at an open mic. I met everyone at open mics. So
okay. And in that interview, right? And I want to talk about this because this is amazing. I ain't gonna lie. The interview we had with him, you explained the song you called the song
Main Focus.
Called,
yeah.
Main Focus. I want to ask you about Main Focus, right? What was the idea, the concept behind Main Focus? How did you come up with that?
So it was a guy I was dealing with, and
it's always a guy.
Yeah, well, yeah. All the songs are about a guy.
I wasn't gonna do it, but it's always
so you know we were like messing around, but it wasn't really anything serious. But
yo, hold on. Before you get into it, listen. I didn't kick this country ass to the curb. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know why you stuck around, but that man must have been doing his job.
Okay.
No comment, but
off your jacket. So let me.
It's always a man.
So explain. Tell me about this man.
So I guess I found out he had a girl, but they were in an open relationship, or at least that's how.
Question: what size was his shoes?
I wasn't complaining. Let's just put it that way.
Baby leg.
I wasn't complaining, but Yeah, so, but then, so I found out, obviously, that wasn't how he made it to be.
Mhm.
But then I also watched him go out besides with his girl, like, other girls, and he'd be like, yeah, I'm just using this bitch like doctor bitches and shit. But that's where I first got the inspiration for that song from, because it's not even that.
He said that
he's-
to you?
No,
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
oh, yeah, talking about another girl. Yep,
So y'all was like best friends?
kind of, yeah.
And so he was tell you how he would finesse?
Yeah, yep, and I always would call him Capital Finesse. That was literally my nickname for him.
Why did you stick around this stinking ass nigga? Why did you do that?
No, I mean, I never took him seriously. Like, I would never date him.
Nah,
Guys
please
like
don't.
that they're gifted and cursed. It's like,
Yeah.
Please don't. Because
No. That's what I'm saying. So the song came out of like, basically, I'm not worried about him. You worried about him. He's not even like in my league type thing.
ooh.
So
So you finessed him with your music. Like, I got something for you.
she finessed the
Like,
finesser.
I got
Basically,
I got something for your ass. He playing with me, coming to my house late night. I know what's going on. So, all right. Who taught you how to play the violin?
let me see. I started when I was really young. Then moved to Connecticut from Jersey, and I really just learned in school. And I did have a private teacher. too.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. There it is.
Shout out to the private teacher.
You have 4 songs? You wanna play? So what song you want to get into first? We can do Main Focus first. Main
Since we're talking about it.
I want to hear Main Focus.
Okay, but question: why is that your number one pick?
That was just the order I wanted to do it in.
Okay.
So that is my oldest one, and also the first video I ever did,
Oh,
which you can find
okay.
on my YouTube.
Well, that makes sense. All right.
Let's get that YouTube up. Y'all go play that right now. I don't give a fuck where you at, in the shower, the car, wherever you at. Play that song right now.
Step on the scene, playing the scene. He roll with me, cause you ain't me. See, while he playing with you, he real with me, cause you ain't bound nothing, while I'm bound something. Or maybe you too blind to see what he doing to you, how he using you, while giving me everything I need. Whatever I want, he pleasing me. Cause I'm his main focus. If you ain't joking, he ain't doing nothing but keeping you open and keeping you open to whatever his desires are. Now thinking about you with your wide open eyes. I'm his main focus. With you ain't just keeping you going and going and going and going and going and going. Cause I'm his main focus. You think he changed when he just running game? He'll never change, so stay in your lane. Don't try to change a man who came, provide you with anything you need. Cause he ain't worried about it, you're not on his docket. He just in your wallet, all in your pockets, trying to get a fix. Spend on me, knows I'm worth it. He know how he free. I'm his main focus. With you ain't joking, he ain't doing nothing but keeping you open and keeping you open to whatever his desires are. You're not thinking about you with your wide open eyes. I'm his main focus. With you ain't just keeping you going and going and going and going and going and going. Cause I'm his main focus. Cause I'm his main focus. With you ain't joking, he ain't doing nothing but keeping you open and keeping you open to whatever his desires are. Not thinking about you with your wide open eyes. That's his main focus. With you ain't just keeping you going and going and going and going and going and going. Cause I'm his main focus. Cause I'm his main focus. I'm his main focus. So just stay hoping. So just stay And remain open. I'm still his main. I'm still his main focus.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now if that was
So it makes sense now, right?
Women can relate. Women can relate to that.
I'm about to put that on in my car.
Now I got a question. What's your relationship status now?
I am single.
You letting guys like that around? Is there a guy like that around? Because I mean,
No.
it gets lonely single.
No. I'm all set.
It gets lonely single when you got it and you got to tame it. You got to be able to. Okay.
Nah, that was in my young days.
Okay,
Like, you know.
okay. Don't okay. So you could be celibate enough to get what you need to get done until that man come around.
Right.
Okay. I wanted to get into another thing I did when I was doing my homework on you. Are you religious? You a religious person?
No, but I do believe in God, so I'm spiritual.
Okay, you spiritual because I've seen the performances in church and Grace Community is to be exact. So I'm thinking like she got to be a religious person, or is she? Or she was like, they was probably paying her. She's like, man, listen, man, let me get the bag and I'll come down there. We can do the Holy Ghost at all y'all everything y'all want to do, and then
a lot of those are paid gigs though.
Okay. But
watch that cord right there.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm sorry. But so you are even though the bag is in there, you are a spiritual person,
right?
As well. Okay, that's cool. And all right. So what is your situation now? Like as far as like label, independent, what route you taking? Are you streaming? Are you Spotify? Are you Apple Music? Are you DistroKid? Are you TuneCore?
Yep, all of that. I did use DistroKid, but I cashed out on all of them. But that is where most of my music
cashed out on.
Yeah, because it's $99 a year.
There, man. What's going on?
Yeah, no, it's $99. You could leave it on there. That's what I mean. If you pay. Yeah. But now I'm just going back to using CD Baby. But yeah, everything's streaming on Spotify, Apple Music. All of them.
What's the benefit from CD Baby DistroKid?
CD Baby, like I just put out a single forever for $10. DistroKid, you can put as much out as you want, but it's $100 a year.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And if you delete your account without cashing it out like I did, then all your music goes offline. What? So it's not really as great as it seems. Yeah, CD Baby I think is better for that stuff. It just depends on what you want, I guess. How much music you put out.
Okay. And what you got going on right now as far as projects, as far as what's your latest project and what do you have going on right now?
Well, I put 2 singles out the last few months, one of which you're going to hear today. And I put out 2 albums in the beginning of the year. So I'm just going to do probably another single. Mm-hmm. But I'm kind of taking my time more because I put in a lot of work with all the other stuff. Yeah.
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. When you're working like that and being consistent, and I understand what you guys said, the women thing. You consistent, right? You guys want to push through and pull through, but it's another thing about women I know is women are emotional as well. And as far as what you guys going through, anybody. Trials and tribulation, trauma, that shit real. So you could take a hiatus. You might, slack like, dang, I need 12 songs for the album, but I only got 8. I need to do 4, but I ain't even really pressing that right now. Like what is your your take? What is your like your approach when it comes to you going through stuff and you have to get something done?
I just get it done. Like I've like had a fight with an ex in the morning. No, I mean even in the morning, and then I have a show that night, and I'm gonna show up and show out. You just have to. It's like you have to put it on the shelf for a second because it's your job.
You went to that show, you showed up, you showed out, and you went home and cried later.
Exactly.
Right? That's what the fuck I'm talking about.
Y'all put me on. That's women. That's women.
You gotta put it on the shelf for a second, like.
And that's important, and that's what I think people that's viewing they need to understand is because a lot of people quit, a lot of people give up, a lot of people they even have a buzz, and as soon as that buzz goes away, they like, dang, I'm not popping no more. No, you're popping. You just got to figure out what the next step is. I think motivation and it got to come from somewhere. Motivation has to come from somewhere. It comes from your drive, or you saying, fuck everybody. You got to say fuck everybody and say it. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like that's big and on what you need to do as far as an artist, because a lot of shit comes in the way on the road. You might have run out of gas going from Connecticut to Atlanta. You like, you know what? Fuck this shit, man. When AAA come get me, I'm going home.
Yeah.
I'm not playing
Yeah,
around. I'm
yeah.
not doing none of this. I don't care what's going on. Fuck Atlanta. Fuck the showcase. Everything. No, you gas that up and keep going on and on, and that's what it's about. So you have you got more songs. You got another song.
Yep, I have 3 more. So
okay. What's the next one?
Next one is Running, which is off my latest album.
Running.
Yeah.
Now explain. Give a brief description on Running.
It's about a guy. Big surprise.
Now hold on. I was with y'all. With the women shit, the power. I was with y'all. Beyonce, all that. I was with y'all, but listen, I can't be backing y'all. You keep making songs about these men.
I mean, the song, literally every word in it is stuff he said to me and stuff that's actually going on. And like, he could talk all that shit, but he always runs back to me.
Okay, so even though it may sound whatever, like, you guys are the muse. Okay, just you're the muse.
Whatever.
That's true though.
Whatever, man.
Just your e-house. Running to me. You be running to me. It's obvious the blind can see. You be running to me. Can't get enough of me. Got you hooked on Warren G. I mean, how could you not be? Why you running to me? You know you running. You always wanna be in my presence, but never really give me any presents. You present them like they ain't more important. Affection that I give you, you ignoring. So what you think I'ma stick around for? I don't chase you, you the one at my door. Don't tell me I'm not the real thing. Soon as I block your phone, I'ma hear my bell ring. Running to me. You be running to me. It's obvious the blind can see. You be running to me. Can't get enough of me. Got you hooked on Warren G. I mean, how could you not be? Why you running to me? Running. You know you running. You try to play me like you wasn't on your knees long before I ever gave you what you need. Say I'm not your type, but you could have fooled me. Cause anytime you want some loving, I'm the one you see. And it was strong sex, I wrote you the morning after. Not to mention all the times you came after. Why you play these games when you're gaming tight? You not fooling anyone, you know you ain't right. Running to me. You be running to me. It's obvious the blind can see. You be running to me. Can't get enough of me. Got you hooked on Warren G. I mean, how could you not be? Why you running to me? You know you running to me.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
That was soulful, sounding like, you know.
Yeah, I put violin on there too. So that was me playing.
That was another thing I wanted to ask you too. So, all right, your whole recording process, right?
Has got to be freaking interesting.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Nah, for real. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Who taught you how to format, first of all, like 16 or bridges and hooks and who was like, you know what, put the violin in there too.
Well, in terms of knowing like song structure, I kind of always knew that, but I did go to Berkeley.
All right, okay,
so
you got the degree.
Yeah, but I already knew like about a
One
bridge
piece.
and all that. But I've been like in orchestras and choruses since I was like a kid, so I already have been kind of known about that. But in terms of, so you're asking,
when did the
how did I violin? Not until way later.
Okay.
This is probably the first. I think it's the first album I actually put violin on.
Mm.
So
how many albums do you have?
Between that and EP 7.
So okay, because I'm not an artist, so I might sound dumb for like 2 seconds, right?
No, never.
Listen, I gotta throw that out there. That's the disclaimer. I'm not an artist. Anyways, right? So you're in the studio, you're singing. Do you have the violin with you? Are you in there like this while you?
No, I go over it afterward.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what.
Also, to answer your question, I have my own studio, which I do sometimes record in, but that track in particular I did with Hayes from Waterbury, so shout out to him.
So you in there, Mike right here, you in there.
Yeah. After I lay down the vocals, then I do the violin.
Okay, now.
Amazing. So when did you have you ever been on the radio? Have you ever got radio placement? Have you ever been trying to, put yourself there?
I did a radio interview a couple weeks ago at CCSU.
Okay.
So that was my last radio interview.
Okay. Never had like placements like at the stations.
You're like 93.7 stuff like that. No, still trying to get there.
Okay, no. That's because those situations happen. You know what I'm saying? Those situations happen. And I know you just told me about all the work you put in. I'm already putting in my head like she done did that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, like you coming off as a person who's working and doing what they got to do. So I'm expecting it. But other than that too, what was your first time you put out music and people like gave you feedback that gave you power, that gave you like, you know what, like I can do this? Because I know you went to school and all that, but like criticism, feedback, your family, the people you look up to, maybe your father, your mother was like, you know what, Lauren, that is amazing, and you need to keep going. Like, was there anybody like that, and you was like, you know what, I'm gonna do this?
Okay, so my first like 3 albums were like self-produced too, or the first 2 anyway.
What?
Yeah, I made all the beats for my first album.
Whoa, yeah, you're tripping. This is amazing.
She is snapping in here.
But I mean, I can make beats, but I'm not a beat maker.
You're doing hooks, you're doing bridges, you're putting out songs, you're doing a violin, you're producing, you're putting out your own album.
This girl know how to keep the bag to herself. That's what the fuck is happening here. She's not sharing the bag.
Yeah, that's the good thing. But I would say like my first EP, the one with Main Focus, that was when like I feel like those were good enough to go on streaming services and that kind of thing. I'm saying that for myself. My family, I mean, my mom will always be honest with me about like feedback because she's a musician as well. But I don't even think she's heard a lot of my songs, to be honest with you. Because she's not like internet savvy and that kind of thing. She doesn't even have a Facebook.
You don't even bring it for like a mom, listen to this.
I do sometimes. Now I do a lot more. So yeah.
Okay. And this like the soulfulness, because in that last song Running, we just heard how soulful you could get. And does it get further, or other than Destiny's Child, who was like, was it some Lauryn Hill? Was it
Yeah, definitely Lauryn Hill. My mom had me growing up on Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass and the Beatles. But for me, Alicia Keys was a big influence for me also.
Doing instruments and singing.
And Christina Aguilera.
I could see that.
And Christina Aguilera. That was like my favorite singer.
Christina coming up was it?
Yeah.
Her voice was
amazing. Nah, that's a fact. Christina could roar anywhere.
Yeah.
So you hated Eminem. Let's just be honest.
No, I love Eminem. That's like my favorite rapper.
and you can't like Christina and then like Eminem at the same time. He made sure he bashed her on camera every time.
I mean, I don't care about the personal stuff. I'm still gonna listen to R. Kelly's music. Like
okay, now. Because I definitely did.
In the mirror.
Okay.
Now, for real. That's
But
dope.
if you care about every artist's personal life, you're not gonna listen to any artist. Like the music's
part.
still good, even though they're a fucked up person.
Okay, so speaking of that, let's get into your next song. What's the next song you want us to play? Third song.
Oh, speaking of music and fucked up people, the Chris Brown song "Say Goodbye." I had to. It was right there.
Remake?
So, kinda. It's like a spin-off.
Okay.
So it's called Soulmate.
You had to come back at Chris, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, I'm never gonna agree with what he did, and if he did that, he's done it after that and before that.
See Selena Gomez at the VMAs when they put him up for an award.
Nah.
She looked like when they announced the thing, they announced everybody else. They said Chris Brown. She was like,
She was sucking lemons.
why are you still announcing his name? Like,
But I still love his music, and I'm starting to listen to his music. So
let's get into it. Let's hear it.
It's just sometimes I gotta get off my chest, right?
Yeah, ain't keep me guessing, but it keep me stressing. I don't know how to say goodbye to what I could be missing. Man, he's so addictive. I'ma say bye-bye, come back with the quickness. He make me feel so alive. He my soulmate in my eyes, so I could never say goodbye. He make me feel so alive. He the one in my eyes, so how do I say bye-bye? You know this ain't been no walk in the park for us, but I still want your trust, still want you all. I want you to fall so deep in love, you can't get up, but I'll pick you up, and I'll build you up. I'll make you believe in love. So what's it gonna be? You feeling me? I see the way you look at me. I think that you fell in love. So what's it gonna be? You need me, you want me. All that ain't got you sprung.
Everything I try to remember to say just went out my head. So I'ma do the best I can to get you to understand. 'Cause
Yeah, you keep me guessing, but you keep me stressing. I don't know how to say goodbye to what I could be missing. Man, he's so addictive. I'ma say bye-bye, come back with the quickness. He make me feel so alive. He my soulmate in my eyes, so I could never say goodbye. He make me feel so alive. He the one in my eyes, so how do I say bye-bye?
Time out, right? Right? We all at Sizzle Pop Radio, right? This is what we want to know, right? This is what we want to know. Did you make that beat too?
no,
Did you
no,
make
no,
that beat?
no.
'Cause I was about to say,
No, I
That
haven't really.
sample was
Me,
stupid.
Yeah.
me, Bacon, and Ready need some beats. I was about to tell you.
No, his name
Me
is
too.
his name is Loudly. That's why it says in the beginning. But yeah.
For real, because I'm about to say, you was a beat maker. You made that beat when he said,
Nah, I don't
She
really
gonna
make
bring
beats
the
anymore.
rapper out of me.
Like I said, I can, but I don't. It's not my thing. I don't really like that.
Nah?
Nah.
Okay.
I haven't really made beats like since my first and second albums.
So, did you make beats for anyone else besides yourself?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
It was just something I was trying out in the beginning of when I first started doing songs, and I'm like,
don't stop.
nah, it's too much work. I can't do everything.
Okay.
You know,
Okay. Stress
like
me out.
master, jack of all trades, master of none type
Yeah.
thing. Like, but that's true. If you split yourself too much between too many things, you're not gonna be able to give yourself fully on that track as an
That's
artist.
okay.
Trust
That's
me,
okay.
I know.
That's a fact. All right. So one thing too, you scurry by, right in the beginning, right, and I want to bring it back. How did you meet So For Real, and how did you get a chance to end up doing any features with him?
Well, I was a Chase Rose. Like I said, he used to be signed by Michael Cox.
Mhm.
So I was with him at the
Shout
studio.
out to Chase Road.
Yeah. I was with him at the studio, or I think I had met this dude named AV. That's who I met through Chase. One day I was working with AV on my own, and Jace was there, and he's like, "Oh, you should come through and put some violin on the track." And then I just ended up doing tracks with him. So yeah, studio was in his house, all that.
So the violin, right? What you've been doing since you were a kid, right? You went to you 11 years old. You had a teacher, classes, school. That got you to So For Real, which is platinum selling group, right? We all know about in the industry. That's a big deal. That's not nothing like, I don't care what they doing now. That's not
right.
Like, that's hip hop. That's a story, right? So that violin, and he had a liking to that.
Well, actually, the funny part is I did play violin that first time, but I actually just ended up doing vocals with him, and then he just like fell in love with my voice, basically.
Wow. So you failed to mention that part.
Yeah. So but then that's why I did my focus with. We did like 6 hours on that song.
Wow.
And he only charged me like per song, and it wasn't expensive as it should be. But
you're talented. Wow, you're talented.
Right.
Because he's him.
But at the same time too, it's like, okay, yeah, she want to do business. Okay, let's do business. But then if I'm listening, it becomes a love.
Yeah.
At that point, it becomes a love. It's like it becomes something like, okay, now let's try this and try that. It's not
right.
Like, okay, we're gonna get this. All right, see you. Have a good time.
Yeah, I think either like the second time I went there, he had me like lay vocals on some track that was his. So yeah.
You see, we sing at the RCA records.
I don't know what he did with it, so I have no idea. It was just like, oh, that was it. So.
That's enough.
Yeah.
Okay. For some residuals.
Sound right.
Yeah, I know, right?
Get you all the way right on one of these songs. You was in the right. You was in the right space at the right.
Yeah.
Right time.
Yeah. Atlanta definitely made me into like the artist I am today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Atlanta did a lot for your career and who you are.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wow. That's amazing.
So, question: there's so many artists right now that are just here. And not to say that that's a bad thing, but they just don't know what their next step is. What would be some advice to give them? Because you seem like a person that just never stops moving. The momentum is crazy with you. So there's people that, sometimes they'll get a standstill. What advice would you give them?
You can't stand still.
Hey,
you have to keep going, and you're gonna have to do a lot of free shit until you
say it again.
For you to even become good enough to get paid. Also,
did y'all hear her?
And you need to practice.
Artists, local artists, aspiring artists. This is what you have to do. You have to work. Go out and work. Don't expect nothing. Don't expect no check, no money, no nothing. Get a relationship. Shake a hand.
Okay.
Take a picture.
Okay. So
and practice your craft.
That's
like number one.
Whippersnappers, they take that shit for granted.
Yeah,
they do.
I'm seeing a lot of it, especially in the city.
And this is why I say it again. Please say it again and again, because it's crazy. Like the entitlement that some of these people
especially
have.
with this generation. And that's why I say, even above all that, you got to practice your craft. Like I practiced a lot, and I still do. So
all right, so you still do. Getting into the next song. What's the next song? When was this next song created, and when did it drop? Or
this is my latest single.
Okay. This
called,
the latest.
Yeah, called Up and Down. And I wrote it with Edron Ramos, who's a Grammy-winning producer. Shout out to him in Bridgeport, Platinum Room Records. So yeah, we wrote it together.
Hold on, say that one more time. He's a what?
Grammy-winning producer.
Okay, y'all doing your homework? You got to work with them people. He do what again? Say it again.
Grammy-winning producer and songwriter.
Grammys.
Okay.
All right, let's get into it.
I think of him, wondering where he's been. All my life, I've been searching for the one. Waiting patiently, hoping he would see we can be two souls turned into one. You bring me up, you bring me down, you bring me up, you bring me down. No one else can do what you do, and no one else can move how you move. You bring me up, you bring me down. I fiend for you. let you come through, but you front, act as if you done. But you want me back, love to make me mad. And when we fight, the battle's never won. You bring me up, you bring me down, you bring me up, you bring me down. No one else can do what you do, and no one else can move how you move. You bring me up, you bring me down. You bring me up and you bring me up and you bring me. Yeah. You bring me up and you bring me up and down. You bring me up and you bring me. You bring me up. You bring me up. Down, down, down. You bring me down. Down, 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 down. You bring me up. You bring me down. No one else can do what you do, and no one else can move how you move. You bring me up. You bring me down. No one else can do what you do, and no one else can move how you move. You bring me up. You bring me down. No one else can do what you do, and no one else can move how you move. You bring me up.
Yeah, a lot of guys like that
You
one.
gotta listen to that. You gotta listen to that entirety. That was fire.
That
I ain't
was.
gonna
Thank you.
lie, the production, everything. Like,
I like the
mhm.
the different tempos.
How many takes did you do to get all of that?
More for the bridge, but the other ones probably one or two.
Layered it in, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Layered it in perfect.
Listen,
It was perfect.
Lauren G, I want to say you are an amazing person. You're an amazing person. You're talented. You should be signed as some record label. Somebody should be putting some money into you doing something, even if it's to boost other artists. You know what I'm saying? Other female artists up and coming, they come around, they don't know what to do. They're like, what I do? Take this sound and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
There's a spot for you.
Thank
in the
you.
roster, baby. I'm gonna let you know that right now. And appreciate you for coming through. Is there anything like else that you wanna say?
Just make sure you go subscribe to my YouTube, Lauren G Music, youtube.com/Lauren G Music 7. That's the direct link.
Okay.
And laurengmusic.com is my website. But make sure you subscribe to my YouTube. All these songs are on there, videos, all
Need
that.
that subscription. Stop playing. Need that subscription. Everybody come through, subscribe, play it, listen to the album, leave a comment. We don't care if you don't like it, you like, leave a comment. You know what I'm saying? And we appreciate you for coming through, man. You're amazing.
Thank you.